Right, so yeah, basically I'm covering a subject I don't think I've seen anyone really cover before. So I'm looking at the top 5 most underrated items in Pokemon. And I can tell you right off the bat, there's way more underrated items than 5. But yeah, while basically like analyzing every single item that the game has to offer, I can tell you that there's way more underrated items compared to overrated items, which is a good thing. Like, obviously, we don't want tons of like overrated items within the game, so yeah, definitely a W there. But again, because there's so many good items that I didn't include in the top 5, I thought about conducting an honorable mentions just so like the items get spoken about, because it'd be a waste not to, you know. So yeah, the first item I want to speak about is the Mirror Up. So let me just pull it up over here. So many Pokemon. So many Pokemon in PvP use like stat changing moves that like buff their stats. For example, like Dragon Dance, Bulk Up, Swords Dance, like the list can go on and on. So the Mirror Up automatically has value. If you have no idea what the Mirror Up actually does, essentially when the opponent raises their stats, the holder of the Mirror Up copies those stat buffs. But what's crazy as well is that you can actually use Swagger onto the opponent and you'll copy the +2 attack increase, which I think is actually really, really good, because you can use Swagger onto like a special attacker. Obviously, they won't benefit off the +2 attack boost, but you will. And you might be saying to yourself, well, why would I do that in the first place if I can just use Sword Charge and just like set up myself? And that's a valid point. That's a valid point if you're talking in terms of single battles. In double battles though, what you can do is you can get a Pokemon with Prankster and essentially use Swagger first turn. Like obviously like when you have Prankster, you go first when you status moves. So like for example, like let's just say, I think Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl gets access to Swagger and Prankster. So like Grimmsnarl uses, like, I don't know, like let's just say you're fighting, I don't know, Heatran. Use Swagger onto Heatran, and Meowscarada, who's holding the Mirror Up over here, okay, would essentially copy that +2 attack, literally before it can even move properly. So like, let's say within that same turn when I used Swagger onto Heatran, I used Knockoff with Meowscarada. Knockoff would basically do more damage because Meowscarada now has +2 attack, so yeah, the Mirror Up, definitely underrated item. I definitely suggest that more people use it, because even outside of like the Swagger light tech, again, like as I said at the start of the video, people just use stat changing moves in general to like boost their stats. One negative about the Mirror Up is that you're not guaranteed to copy the stat you actually want. For example, like let's say Cresselia is using Calm Mind, right? Meowscarada wouldn't even care about that because it's not a special attacker. Obviously, Meowscarada is a physical attacker. So basically, it would appreciate someone to use Bulk Up instead of Calm Mind. But it's still like an item that can be used in certain scenarios, so yeah. Another item I want to talk about is the Cell Battery. I have seen nobody... No, do you even know what this is? Like you the viewer, do you even know what this battery is? Because I guarantee you, you have no idea what the Cell Battery is. Like, have you even heard of that word before? I don't think you have. But anyway, the Cell Battery, like, there's like multiple variants of the Cell Battery. Like, there's like the Absorb Bulb. Like, let me just pull it up over here. Like, Absorb Bulb. There's the Snowball. Like, they basically all do the same thing, or kind of, but for like different types essentially. But I'll just be talking about the Cell Battery just for convenience sake. But what the Cell Battery basically does is it raises the holder's attack stat when the holder gets hit by an electric type move. You'd think that people would have realized the value in the Cell Battery because of terrestrialization, but I have never, you're like, I play Pokemon like a decent amount, okay? And I have never seen anyone use the Snowball, the Cell Battery, the Absorb Bulb, like just like any variant of this item. I have never seen anyone use. You can literally, like, for example, like Samurott, pull up like his sway in Samurott, you put the Cell Battery onto Samurott. Obviously Samurott's weak to electric, so like let's say you're fighting like, I don't know, like what's a popular electric type that's in the meta right now? Like Regieleki. Regieleki uses like Thunder Cage, right? You Terra into Grass, so Terra Grass. Not only is it now resisted to Thunder Cage, but it's now actually receiving an attack increase by being hit by it. Like, okay. Prior to Gen 9, there wasn't really like a real reason to use like the Cell Battery or like any of these like other items like that are like similar to it. But in Gen 9, you can literally terrestrialize and change your type. So you can use like these items however you want. Another example would be like Garchomp. Garchomp's like quad weak to ice. You put the Snowball on it, raises the attack when Garchomp gets hit by an ice type move. Terra into Steel, you resist ice, and not only that, your attack goes up passively by being hit by an ice type move. It's like, you know, like I would say it's the best item in the world, but it's definitely underrated, which is why it's in the honorable mention. So yeah, the last item I want to talk about on the honorable mentions list is the Quick Claw. The Quick Claw is actually decent. No, look, hear me out, okay? Trick Room at times is unavoidable. For example, like, it is a pain in the backside, okay, when Hatterene uses Trick Room, because it has Magic Bounce. Like, you can't taunt it, you can't really stop Hatterene, like, apart from, like, one-shotting it. And sometimes, like, Hatterene has the Focus Sash, so it's like, what can you even do to stop Trick Room? Well, what you can technically do, okay, if you're using, like, a high-level Copium, you can legit one-son with the Quick Claw. Because no matter what, okay, if Trick Room's active, if Trick Room's not active, the Pokemon that holds the Quick Claw has a 1/5 chance to go first. Trick Room lasts 5 turns, meaning that the odds are you will go first during Trick Room at least once. It's not guaranteed. Sometimes the Quick Claw just won't proc at all, like during the whole match, and other times they'll proc like continuously throughout the match. But it can be a good counter if you are facing Sonic Trick Room, just because again, you basically have a 20% chance to actually go first, which isn't the worst chance. Like, for example, like, we have Air Slash, okay? Like, Air Slash, like, has, like, a 30% chance to flinch. I feel like Air Slash always flinches. Like, Air Slash has, like, a 30% chance to flinch. Quick Claw has a 20% chance for you to go first. Like, the difference in percentages isn't that big, you know? So, again, I feel like the Quick Claw does have decent value. So, yeah, that is the Quick Claw. Now, it's time to get into the top 5. I was going to say, before this even begins, the top 5 is not in order. So, please, don't come at me if you see, like, an item that's, like, more underrated than, like, something else. It is not in order. It's just, like, a top 5 list in general. So, yeah. The first item I want to talk about in the top 5 is variants of the Mystic Water. Like, for example, we have, like, the black glasses, like, even the plates as well. I think the plates are, like, the exact same multiplier. Yeah, so like the plates slash like items similar to like the Mystic Water. Actually, wait, can I pull up like the damage calculator? Wait, one second. Okay, so yeah, we're on the calculator right now. So we have Garchomp and we have Hatterene over here. So as you can see over here, Garchomp currently has no item, and in doubles, Earthquake is basically a guaranteed 4-hit KO, which isn't the best. I mean, like, it's not bad, but like it's not great. I mean, yeah. If we slap the soft sand, if I can even find it here. Wait, where is it? The soft sand. Wait, my eyes are failing me. Okay, here. There's a 97% chance for Earthquake to 3-hit KO. 97, which is near always. Like, you're basically nearly guaranteeing that you 3-hit KO Hatterene every single time compared to the 4-hit KO. And there is reasoning to use the Life Orb, obviously, if I can find it. Earthquake, yeah, Earthquake does more damage now, and it becomes a guaranteed 3-hit KO. The Life Orb obviously deducts health. The soft sand doesn't, so take what you will from that. But yeah, there's definitely reasoning to use the soft sand on like Garchomp. I know that people use the Mystic Water on Urshifu already, so yeah. But I definitely feel like more Pokemon could definitely use variants of the Mystic Water as well, such as like the soft sand or like the plates as well. So yeah, that's number 5. Number 4 is the safety goggles. Do you want to know why? This is the reason. Do I even have to explain anything? You know, this guy and sometimes this guy as well. Look. You know what, even sometimes this guy, you know? Don't even know how this guy even became popular in the first place. But, like, there was, like, a brief period in time where, like, this guy was, like, everywhere in PvP. I don't even know why. It was just, like, what was it, like? It was, like, sleep powder. Like, look, God knows. But, like, these 3 are the reason why safety goggles is just, like, you can't really go wrong when you have it. Just because you'll basically shut down Spore, you'll shut down Spore with Breloom as well, and you'll shut down Sleep Powder with Jumpluff. And you know what? Even sometimes Lilligant can have Sleep Powder as well. Very annoying when it uses Sleep Powder, because usually Lilligant is partnered with Torkoal, and like the whole like after you strat is annoying. So yeah, look, safety goggles is just an item that will just like forever have value. Like, as long as a Moongus is in the game, safety goggles will have value. Like, I mean, you can't even convince me otherwise. You actually can't convince me otherwise. I don't even have to even explain more than that. You know what? One second. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? 32% usage. Basically, one third of ranked is using a Moongus. And look at this. Why is this not 100%? Who is using a Moongus without Spore? Who is doing that? You know what? Regardless. Like, you see it. The stats don't lie. The safety goggles has value. I didn't even mention Rage Powder. Like, safety goggles also deters Rage Powder as well. So yeah, even more value there. For the third items, I want to include the power items. So like the power anklet, the power band, blah blah blah. All of these items are actually really good, and I don't see enough people use them. They are so underrated. It's actually disturbing. Like, Okay, so like, if you have no idea what these items actually do, obviously like use them to EV train. Like you use these in the grass, like you know what they do already, okay? But in PvP, they actually half your speed. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Def Aqua, why would I ever want to half my speed? Like, what's the use of doing that? Trick Room. Trick Room is obviously a move that exists. And you might be saying to yourself, well, even with Trick Room existing, I don't really see a lot of value because there's like Pokemon that are already good on the Trick Room, like just by default. For example, like Ursaluna, oh, that's nice, but Ursaluna. Yeah, there it is, Ursaluna, and like I mean, like I guess Sizzle was actually decent on the Trick Room, like Sizzle as well. And yes, like Pokemon are good on the Trick Room by default, like no power items needed on them to make them good. But what happens when you get into a speed tie? And what do you do, okay, when the person that you're actually speed tying with is actually holding a power item? Well, they will always go first on the Trick Room. So basically already there's value in using power items on Pokemon that are already good on the Trick Room. And one of the most annoying things in this game, is when you set up Trick Room, you have a Moongus on your team, you know, ready to use Spore, and then your opponent sends out this. Obviously, Torkoal is slower than a Moongus. Like, I think everyone knows this at this point. Like, Torkoal just wipes everything with Eruption when it comes in. But what if you give a Moongus one of the power items? They all do the exact same thing. Let's just choose like the Anklet here. With the power Anklet, Moongus' speed actually becomes 15, meaning that it will outspeed Torkoal on the Trick Room. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, look, that's what I'm gonna say. So like again, like there is value in using power items on Pokemon that are like already good on the Trick Room. Number 2 is the King's Rock. The King's Rock is an item that I have basically seen no one use. It actually has decent utility. We all know that you can't use Fake Out into Ghost types, also because Fake Out is a normal type move. What you can do though, is you can use Fling, and when you actually fling the King's Rock, it results in the opponent getting flinched, similar to using Fake Out essentially. And guess what Ghost types are weak to? They're weak to Dark. And Fling is a Dark type move. Why does Azumarill get Fling? I can't tell you the reason. Anyway though, that's one reason to use the King's Rock. Another reason to use the King's Rock is just for the fact there's a 10% chance for you to flinch the opponent whenever you attack. A 10% chance isn't that high, like, at all. Like, obviously, like, moves like Fissure, like, Sheer Cold, they have a 30% chance to hit. King's Rock is, like, only, like, 10, so, like, it won't happen often. But when it does happen, it can be the difference between you winning or actually losing a game. And one great benefit to using the King's Rock is that when you use a multi-attacking move similar to, like, Population Bomb, every single hit has a separate chance to flinch. So, yeah. The last item on the list is an item that I don't see anyone use for whatever reason. And I actually don't know why. Because everyone knows that it's good. Everyone knows it's good. But no one uses it. It's the Lumberry. I don't really understand why no one uses it. Do people use this? Whenever I check Pikalytics, this item is never towards the top. Never! It's always towards like the bottom end. The Lumberry can literally cure any status condition. If you get poisoned, you heal it. Paralyzed, put to sleep by Spore, confused, like frozen. I don't like, it's one time only, okay. It literally covers such a wide spectrum to the point where I feel like it's a waste not actually including it on a team. Because so many Pokemon have access to moves that can give status conditions. Like the majority of these Pokemon here, like in OU, in Uber, just like the game in general, probably have access to a move that can give you a status condition. For example, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt has like a 10% chance to paralyze, Flamethrower, 10% chance to burn, stuff like that essentially. But yeah, that's my top 5 list. None of it's in order. Like, I'm not saying that the Lumberry is like the best item on the list here. It's actually not in order. If you agree or disagree with me, comment down below. Also, comment items that aren't on the list. I don't know, maybe I missed something. If you have an item that you think is underrated, also comment it down below as well. But yes, I think that'll be it for me. I will see you in the next video.